Hi, today I'm going to be talking about the Google Chrome extension Read and Write. This is a tool to help individuals with reading comprehension difficulties, writing difficulties, English language learners, students with dyslexia, writing weaknesses. Really any student I feel could use this. I could definitely see myself using this with my students in the speech and language therapy room to work on vocabulary, summarizing, paraphrasing. A lot of really great features in this tool. This is one of the pages here that will walk you through each of the features of the Google Chrome extension. I'm going to go ahead and just jump in and start demonstrating some of these features for you. I'm going to start with a Google Doc. So this extension works with web pages, Google Documents, PDFs, and any Microsoft Word documents as well. So here, some of the features are similar to ones you would just find within Microsoft Word or Google Docs. It has the grammar check, it has the word predictions. If I were to hit this and start typing, today it's going to give me where it is. Saturday. Wednesday. Wednesdays. So it just predicts, obviously, for you and reads the word aloud as you're going. It also has the text-to-speech, or excuse me, dictation, so I can talk and type. Assistive technology is important in today's classrooms. We'll go ahead and just. So again, those features are pretty standard in a lot of the Microsoft Word or Google documents. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the features that we can use on a website. I pulled up an article for students I would say using about second graders or so on volcanoes. And here it has the read aloud. So I'm going to highlight some. You can start reading
ground
it.
rumbles. Hot liquid.
Stop that or pause it. A few of the features I really love are related to vocabulary. So it has a dictionary and a picture dictionary. So if I were to select the word, just volcano, a dictionary, it brings up the definition, and then picture dictionary brings up the icon with it. And then going along with the vocabulary, another feature I love is this vocabulary feature here. You can highlight different words within the document. This word is already highlighted just within the story. So I'm going to highlight these words. I'm going to pick one more. And then you hit the vocabulary tool. It's going to open a Google document with the words, definitions, and an icon that goes with it. So I really love this for my students who are more visual learners. The one thing I would say is to just go through and look at some of these definitions. Some of them can be a little wordy, so you might have to simplify those for your students. So I love that feature. Another feature that I really like is the highlighting feature, and it'll collect the highlights for you into another document. So say I wanted to work on summarizing or paraphrasing with a student. So let's go through and just highlight some of the more important information. A volcano is a kind of a mountain. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to do pink. Some are active, some are dormant. I'm going to highlight some information about that. And then how about just this sentence down here, highlight. I'm going to collect my highlights. I'm going to select the color because I do have some other words highlighted with different colors. I'm going to select pink. Hit OK. It's going to bring up another Google document with just those selected information. I'm going to take the highlighting off. So I love this for story retell or paraphrasing, as I said, can really help students get the gist of the main idea. Okay, go back to that article. Some of the other tools up here, just the web search. So if I just want to highlight volcano, hit the web search, it'll pull up a Google search for volcanoes. And then the screen reader is also a really great tool that I love, the screen mask. So some of you might be familiar with, it looks like a little ruler. It has that highlighter tool in it for students to use on books. This is to use on the web page. So I love this to help students be focused, not skip the headlines, and they can just kind of scroll down and read as they go. There's also options, which I'll show you in the tool section, that you can change the different colors and the size of the mask. This is the talk and type, which I showed you. This tool here is the audio maker. So if I want to highlight some information, I can then click this audio maker, and it's going to pull up another file where you can save that audio information to listen to later. So you brings it right down here.
Volcanoes can be dangerous when one is ready to erupt.
And you can save that there so you can listen back to that information at any time without having to have the article in front of you. Okay. This tool here is a screenshot reader. So this is used on PDFs. So if I was to bring up a PDF document, you cannot just click on that and have it read it to you, but I could do the screenshot reader and go through. I know our rubric for this week has a PDF embedded within it, so I'm going to go ahead, go down to that. And so here, let's pull up my tool. Just pull down. And I can just select a section of this text here, and it'll read it out loud.
User friendliness, 1 points, navigation consistency.
So that's great also for different text features within articles. If there's graphics or charts and things, you can also screenshot and have that be read to you. Okay, so I showed you a lot of those. Let me go through here. And if you have things highlighted, you just go ahead and highlight them again, get rid of them with this little brush tool. Another feature I really love with the Simplify page. So I pulled up an article here on National Geographic, and you can see how visually distracting this can be. There's all of these ads here on the page, but if I hit the Simplify tool, it's going to give me a reading view, and there's a lot of things you can do. One, you can change the spacing. We can change the font, make it bigger, smaller. We can change to this Open Dyslexic font. Something else that's really neat is you can simplify the information. So it's going to just stick with some of that main key points. So I'm going to simplify. It takes away some of the text within the article. Okay, so you can see how it's kind of adding and from these paragraphs here. So that's really great to simplify the information. You can also change the reading view of it on the background colors. You do white on black, black on white. Close out of that. Okay, so I think I've gone through most of the tools here. Oh, the translator tool, that's another one. So let me pull up the word volcanoes, hit the translation, and it'll give you this. This is in Spanish, it'll read it out loud to you.
Volcán.
And you can also change that within the options feature. Oh, and one last feature that I really liked was the practice reading out loud. You can click on that. It's going to bring you to the article, and then you can record yourself, save it as a file, and send it off to your teacher. So this would be great for different centers. The students could record themselves if you're a classroom teacher while you're working with another group, and they can practice that reading fluency skill. So overall, I see a lot of really great uses for this tool for myself, especially in the speech therapy room with the vocabulary. The reading out loud can even be used for articulation practice. The Simplify page is awesome. I love the collecting highlights, and the picture dictionaries is also a lot of the features I really liked. As far as the accessibility of this, it's navigated through a mouse. So any alternative mouses that are used, eye gaze could be used with this as long as you have mouse control. An adaptive mouse would work for that. It is free for educators, which is great. Otherwise, it's $145 per year, but free for all classroom teachers and educators. As far as the user friendliness, I did find I just kind of jumped in and started using some of the tools. They mostly were pretty self-explanatory. And then here you can go through the different options of what you want to change. So you can change the language, you can change the speed of the reading, continuous reading. Here's where you can change the language that it's translated into. You can change the prediction, the number of results. When I was typing, it was bringing up it had 10 results. So I might change that to like 3 to 5. So there's not as many options for students to get overwhelmed with. The screen masking, as I mentioned, you can change that background color. You can change the height of the line. You can change the language just to, there's a variety of languages on there. Then the different features, these are all the premium features available. So if you don't want some of your students to have access to some of those features, you can take them away. You can simplify it so there's not as many icons across the top. And then that's just about your account that you're signed in with. So overall, I did find it to be pretty user-friendly. At first, I did have to make sure I restarted my computer so that all of the features were working correctly. I did find, really it only works with the web pages, PDFs, or Google Documents. I tried to use it on some of the library pages that I use with my school, like a BookFlix account, and it wouldn't let me highlight the words. So, you just have to stick to web articles and some of the Google Documents. So, but overall, I found this to be a great tool, and I really think that I would use this in my therapy. Again, as I mentioned, the vocabulary features and the highlight features I think were really great tools. So overall, I think this is a great extension, and it's free for educators. So definitely worth giving it a shot.